Wisconsin Broadcasters Association Hall of Famer Bob Berry ruled Milwaukee's airwaves in the 60s and 70s. He spoke with countless musicians and celebrities over the years. Bob collected remarkable recordings of these encounters, which he's now sharing with the public. Here's Bob.
For those of you who have said that this podcast is a lot of Mickey Mouse, we're going to prove you right. Voice actor and sound effects expert Jim McDonald joined us one morning on Bob Berry Calls the World. Jim was the voice of Mickey Mouse, the circus train engine in Dumbo, the howling dogs in Lady and the Tramp, the mice and Bruno the dog in Cinderella, and the bees in Winnie the Pooh. He also did the sound effects of Tock, the crocodile from Peter Pan, and the dragon in Sleeping Beauty. He did a lot more effects and voices, which he'll talk about and demonstrate. An interesting fact is that Walt Disney was getting hoarse from smoking, so he offered the job of doing the voice of Mickey to Jim.
M-I-C-K-E-Y.
Hello.
M-O-U-S-E. Hello, Jim.
Hello.
How are you?
Is this Bob Berry?
Yes, it is.
Well, good morning.
We've been talking about you all morning, and I told him what you do, that you're the head sound effects man for Walt Disney Productions, and to do Mickey Mouse and I guess hundreds of other voices and sound effects. You have Mickey Mouse there this morning, this early?
Yes, even though it's early, Bob, I'll get him over here.
Okay.
Hi, Bob. Too early, huh?
Oh, it sure is. Jim, how many voices do you actually do for Walt Disney Productions?
Oh, gee, Bob, I can't tell, because as different pictures come up, different situations. You try something. You see, I've been here 40 years now.
Is that right?
There are a lot of hats in that time, and you never get rid of any. But
Okay.
since, Mickey was Walt's voice, always. And he started this, 50 years ago. And, let's see, in 1946, when we were doing Mickey and the Beanstalk, he was very, very busy, as he always was, so he asked me to do it, and I've been doing it ever since, the last 27 or so years. I also do Goofy, which is, how are you, Bob? And Pluto. Of course, Pluto just barks and pants. And so forth. But a lot of the live-action animals I do. For instance, great picture called The Bears and I. And that has a fine cast of Pat Wayne, Michael Ansar, and Chief Dan George, and Andrew Duggan, and Robert Pine. And they're up in the woods, and the mother bear gets killed. But then there are three little bears, and it's a great, great picture. So I was called on to do the bears. I'll do a couple of those bears for you, if you
Okay,
wish.
great.
The small bears sound like this, Bob. And then the mother bear, she's a big, powerful one. And you see, I use an old glass lamp chimney that I growl through vocally, and it adds a lot of additional load. Now, here's the way the mother bear would be.
That's amazing how you can really make it sound real, Jim.
Yes, but never, I never knew that I could do these things 20 years ago, 30 even. But when Walt was alive, he'd say, well, give it a try for any of us, and you'd do it. So whenever I do Mickey, I figure, I'm just still standing in for Walt because he's a great man, and we sure miss him.
Right, he sure was. One of the most difficult problems with sound effects.
Every picture presents another problem, but I had two little dandies. One was, they have two new walk-in attractions there at Florida and Walt Disney World. One is a gristmill, a new gristmill that opened. It's a walk-in. It's like being inside of a large clock with all the escapements, the gears and things. Well, these had to be, of course, they're all wooden, and it's located down by an old mill stream. And they wanted a theme for it, and they came up with the idea of using down by the old mill stream. And we came up with all the creeks in there, and they all creak now. You remember that old tune?
Yeah,
but
right.
These creeks sound just great. I have a little prop here, if you'd like to hear it, that I make creeks on.
Okay.
Very simple thing with a drum head stretched over a tin can with a string through it with a rosin. A heavily rosin bow. Now, I'll lay the phone down a moment.
All right.
And creak this thing.
Okay. Talking to Jim McDonald, Los Angeles, California, at Walt Disney Productions, the head sound effects man there.
also make frogs with it, Bob.
You know, I bet a lot of people don't realize how much work goes into one of these movies. How long does it take for an animated movie to be
Well,
put together?
let's see. I would say a feature will be at least 3 years, Bob. And that's
Let's say, like one of my favorites, for instance, is Bambi. Did you work on Bambi at all?
I certainly did. I did some of the small animals, the little chipmunks. Of course, I can't do that here, but I had props for that.
Mm-hmm.
And but the fire sound and the running all the hooves of the animals, you know.
Oh, yeah. Jim, I want to thank you very much. Oh, boy, I could go on for hours talking to you. I wish our time wasn't up here.
Yes, I wish we had a couple hours. We'd have a great time.
Thank you so much for getting up this early in the morning there in Los Angeles.
Oh,
And,
4:30 was pretty early.
I guess. Okay, thanks a lot, Jim.
You bet, Bob, and thanks for calling.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hi, Bob. This is Mickey Mouse at Walt Disney Studio in Burbank, saying good morning to Bob Berry.
The leader of the trumpet band for U.S.E. M.I.C. A.E.Y. M.O.U.S.E.
Bob Berry.
Thank you for listening to Bob Berry's Unearthed Interviews. Be sure to subscribe and rate our podcast on iTunes or wherever you find your podcasts. You can find all the episodes at WisconsinBroadcastingMuseum.org. Check out Bob Berry's book, Rock and Roll Radio Milwaukee. Book sale proceeds support Angels Kids Fund and Donate Life Wisconsin. The preceding program was made possible by a generous contribution from Terry Vaughn.